Hello fellow classmates, this is Joey and I'm doing my data project on the average goals and the average penalties that happened in the 2016-2017 season, including novice, Atom, PB, Bantam, and Midget. So how I got my data was by Mr. McDonald. He had some score sheets during the year and I used those for my data project. So I categorized my project by the years of the kids, what division they're in. So novice, Atom, Pee-wee, Bantam, Midget, and then I put them on the amount of like what kind of penalties they had this year. So tripping, hooking, head check, slashing, roughing, high sticking, interference, unsportsmanlike, boarding, elbowing, body checking, cross checking, um, charging, and hooking. So I went through the score sheets and I used a tally sheet and I added up how many penalties there were. So I would add up, like, if I saw a tripping, I would put a tripping tally under like the tripping column. So novice got 33 tripping calls, 2 holding, 0 head checks, etc. So so that's how I added up the penalties. So after I got all the penalties from the year, I just added them all up. So it equaled to 62 for novice, 112 for Atom, 124 for Pee-wee, 140 for Bantam, 164 for Midget, and it all equaled up to 602 penalties during the year. So after that, I added up how many games were played. So 207 games were played during the 2016-2017 year. Then I put them in categories by novice, Atom, Pee-wee, Bantam, Midget. So novice had 56 games played, Atom had 66, Pee-wee had 35, Bantam had 22, and Midget had 28. So to get your average penalties per game, all you have to do is get the total from each category. So say 62 penalties for a novice and divide it by how many games they played. So they played 56 games, so you go 62 divided by 56, which equals to 1.107. I'll give you an example here for Midget. So they played 164, they got 164 penalties, and they played 28 games, so it equals to 5.857. So that's how I got my average penalties per game. It's not very hard, as you can see. It's just very time consuming, considering they have 207 games in total. Anywho, I'll go to my total goals. So for my total goals, it was the exact same thing. I just had to tally how many goals were in the season. So novice had 410, Atom had 441, Pee-wee had 279, Bantam had 156, Midget had 215, and the total games were the exact same as the penalties. So I did the exact same thing and just divided 400. I'll give you an example. So for novice, I divided 410 divided by 56, which gave me 7.32. So I'll do midgets. So B6 divided by C6, which equals to 7.678. So that's how I got my average goals per game. So you can see it's not that hard, but the only difficulties I actually had, I found was that I didn't have an accurate database, because I believe I didn't have like all the game sheets, because I don't think that Bantam has only played 22 games this season. So my stuff wasn't that accurate, I believe. So these are the graphs I made from the data I collected. So this is the novice penalties. This is the Atom, Pee-wee, Bantam, Midget. So you've seen this data before. So 35 tripping, 8 holding, etc. So before I did the project, I had a hypothesis that I thought Midget would have the highest penalty average, like per game, but I was wrong. It was actually It was actually Bantam who had the highest average. They had a 6.6 average. Midget had a 5.71. Pee Wee had a 3.54. Adam had a 1.69 and Novice had a 1.1. Even though Midget had the most penalties, Bantam had a higher average because of the amount of games they played. And also, I thought that Novice would have had the most goals, but they actually didn't. I believe it was Adam with the most goals with the most goals. So Adam had 441, Novice had 410. It was a close call, but Adam beat him in the long run. Yet again, they did have 10 more games, but. So yeah, this is my final culminating activity that you guys just saw. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks you, Mr. McDonald, for teaching me. And I'll see y'all later. Peace out.